In today's Hollywood, where creativity is at an all-time low and the industry is suffering from this inability to create anything original, it's now routine to piggyback off of something that's already popular and established. There's less risk to be had when adapting or making a sequel out of something that has a built-in fan base and audience. But over the years, we've learned this is something no longer to get excited for. When we hear news of our favorite franchises we've grown up with, soon to hit the big screen, or to be rebooted or have a series made out of it, our reaction today is, how are they now going to ruin this one? Making no attempts to please the fans that have built these properties up to where these people have a job and something to adapt in the first place. They feel entitled to your dollar and assume you'll just show up no matter the garbage they put out. All they have to do is stamp the name you easily recognize onto it and you'll just eat it up regardless. And these people's ego goes so far, if you dare criticize or mention this isn't living up to expectation, it's now custom to label you every name in the book, all under the umbrella of a toxic fan.
That's when we started experiencing a rampage of bigotry, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language towards us. Targeted attack, I would say, we received by the alt-right.
To them, you must obey like a dog or something. And the ones who do appreciate the fans, they come few and far between, understanding the passion that drives these properties to relevancy, which is why they had the fan support fully behind them.
I'm curious if that's comparable to this sort of world, this culture of toxic fandom, where like you have great intentions, but there are always going to be a small yet vocal group of people there can kind of just be toxic.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.
But there is a reality check that is now coming to these celebrity elitist types. People aren't buying into their bullshit. People aren't tuning into their garbage content. They're slowly realizing they are powerless without the fans, and now some of them are desperately trying to course correct. But for them, it may be too late. Do a better job. Netflix Cowboy Bebop missed the mark, and one star is finally addressing the anime flop. Now, years later, Pineda is speaking out, reflecting on the series' abrupt cancellation and offering some candid thoughts on the industry's treatment of cherished intellectual properties. This is golden and ironic coming from her, but I'll get to that soon. At a recent premiere, Pineda, who betrayed Faye Valentine, expressed her disappointment with how studios handle adaptations of deeply loved franchises. In her view, studios often underestimate the emotional weight and cultural significance that anime like Cowboy Bebop carries, you think? These stories mean so much to fans, oh now you care about the fans.
Since when do you care about anybody else but yourself?
She emphasized that while the cast and crew gave their all, yeah, bullshit. I've seen fan-made adaptations that did better. The IP itself deserved more thoughtful stewardship, a critique that resonates with many fans who felt the adaptation strayed too far from its roots. She's trying to present herself along with the people like she's part of the same crew as the fans.
She doesn't even go here.
When she was the main one spitting in their faces, but we'll get to that because they address that later. I feel like those animations, they mean so much to people and they're so personal. And I think people really connect to when they watch it in the point of their lives. And so I just feel like, and I'll say this, having been in one, I think that those studios, they need to do a better job at valuing that IP. It's really special. And people on Bebop, they worked very, very, very hard. But it's just a special thing. This is a prime example of that Goku meme, where Goku is successfully dodging random punches, and the punches are supposed to represent accountability. This is her acting that out right now, taking no accountability for her actions during that promo run. Pineda admitted she understood the criticism, but still believed the series deserved a second chance. If you understood the criticism, then you wouldn't say it deserves a second chance. It was ruined beyond repair. There is no coming back from Edward being played by a boy when really Edward is a girl. There is no coming back from Faye being portrayed as a lesbian when that goes against her backstory in the anime. There is no going back from the inaccurate portrayal of Julia in Vicious, one of the coolest villains, being presented as a damn man baby. There is no second chance. You all blew it.
You blew it, boy! You really blew it!
And these are the things you have to go out of your way to mess up. It's not like having a low budget, so maybe the Bebop ship or Spike Swordfish ship doesn't exactly look like how it does in the anime. No, these are purposeful decisions the people in charge made when writing these characters and how they'll be presented in the live action. You all blew it. We had cool things going and we wanted to prove ourselves. And that's also the problem with today. So many of these people want to leave their stamp and mark on these properties, how they can shine in their own way and be separate from the source material. It's not about you. It's about the show and the fans. Have some damn humility, especially when taking on something as beloved as Cowboy Bebop. The cancellation was not the only blow. Panita herself faced intense online backlash, and here we go with the sob story, particularly around a misunderstood social media video, originally intended to poke fun at herself during filming in Puerto Rico. You're right.
You liar!
The video is misinterpreted as an attack on fans. She clarified that her comments were aimed at trolls, not genuine fans, and that the situation quickly spiraled out of context.
Enough from the clown!
Miss me with the PR, publicist, media train bullshit. This is pure gaslighting. I remember when the trailer and photos dropped. Me along with other fans said this was an easy layup. This is purposefully getting the outfit wrong. But in typical Hollywood fashion, when the fans criticize, they must show their ego and give us their ass to kiss.
And I just wanted to address a couple of things that sort of keep coming up in the comments amongst fans. First, I wanted to apologize to the fans that I did not anatomically match the Faye Valentine character. 6 foot, double D size breast, 2-inch waist. You know, they looked everywhere for that woman and they couldn't find her. It's kind of weird. So they just went with my short ass. I know. Am I right? You know, there was talk about like, can we put Daniela in a time machine and maybe give her different parents so she has different genetic information to sort of make her look better? It proved to be too complicated. And the other thing I wanted to bring up was I want to apologize that the outfit I'm wearing is not exactly what she wears in the anime. You know, we tried, but doing stunts in tissue paper, things disappear, they rip. Sometimes it just got lost. Anyway, like I was saying, that original costume, they made a couple of them, but like I said, they got sort of slurped up in my various crevices, never to be retrieved again. So we needed to really build something that could withstand the test of time. So just, you know.
You must mock them, talk down to them like we're peasants, like our opinion shouldn't matter. Address us in a very condescending, passive-aggressive tone, because how dare we want an accurate portrayal of something we love. And as is shown here, she's already played characters in much more revealing clothing. So as I said, miss me with the gaslighting. And as this article mentions, Faye isn't 6 feet tall with a 2-inch waist. But yes, we do want someone with at least close to the cup size as the character. These choices were intentional. I've seen cosplayers do a better job than this because they're fan motivated rather than motivated to be politically correct because a girl with a certain breast size is too offensive nowadays. And to add more proof onto this, the person in charge of costume design, Jane Holland, said this: I feel like it's a respectful rendition of the anime. I do have to say, as a woman, I felt resistant to the idea of the lead female character being gratuitous or overtly sexualized.
It doesn't matter what you think!
Then don't take on this job. That's why I say these are activists in charge of these decisions, prioritizing political correctness over doing a good job. Faye's outfit and being sexy is part of her character.
Hi.
You looking for some action?
Well, you might say that. A certain kind of action.
I'm all yours.
Put your hands up.
She uses seduction to lure in her bounty and it works to her advantage. Then she goes on to say it was made for practical reasons because they were considering what she would wear in real life. More gaslighting. Because these types, they really just hate attractive women in media. But you know what? This just adds to my point of cherishing being a 90s baby. I remember going to the theater to see Tomb Raider, and damn if Angelina Jolie didn't pull off that outfit and Lara Croft as a whole. She did an amazing job. Oh, and she was busty too because that's something that's significant to her character design. There's a thing called suspension of disbelief when you're so wrapped up in the story that you put real world logic aside, something these activist types just don't understand. You know, there's a certain scene that could have sold this show on its own, along with a faithful adaptation. It's when Spike rescues Faye and she's frantically trying to escape, bullets and bodies flying everywhere, and the jiggle physics are put on display, highlighting the feminine physique that Faye has. Just hire the right actress who looks the part and can play her accurately. It's not hard to do. Cosplayers have done a better job. Someone who is actually a fan and appreciative of this role, and fans would have showed up just for that, because it would have indicated you guys aren't bounded by political correctness or some reimagined reimagined version for the modern audience. Just give fans what they want and you'd be surprised of how successful you will be. The bar is that low in today's Hollywood. But that's all I have for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. It's hilarious how this actress tried to escape any blame on her part. If anything, she was the only one who made a video and spit in the face of the fans. Everyone else just kept quiet, then had the nerve to act innocent, placing all the blame on Netflix, taking no responsibility herself. True narcissist. And if you haven't already, check out my music on Spotify, links in the description. If you love those Samurai Champloo lo-fi boom bap vibes, then my music is definitely for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Free think. Peace.